Welcome back. Glad you're with us. Okay, if your mail needs to be postmarked by a certain date, you may consider sending it out a bit earlier, as the Postal Service has rolled out a new change in the way it is dated.
Yeah, according to the Postal Service, the date you drop your mail off may not necessarily be the same day it's postmarked. 6 News reporter Naomi Hilmer is on your side tonight, learning what this means for anyone sending mail and what could be impacted by this change.
While sending documents in the mail may not be as popular as it was before, some items rely heavily on the date it was postmarked, like voter registration.
Where this may end up affecting us, and I'm still waiting on some guidance from the state for that, is in voter registration forms, because we have a very hard and fast 30-day deadline prior to every election where somebody can register to vote.
Chris Davis with the Knox County Election Commission says while absentee or mail-in ballots are not affected by the postmarked date in Tennessee, voter registration is, and changes by USPS could impact that. Under this new rule, USPS clarifies that the postmarked date will reflect the day of processing, which may or may not be the same day that the mail is deposited, which means if you are sending something out, the postmarked date may be a day or two later.
At first, you wouldn't think that it would be that big of a deal, but sometimes, like you're relying on dropping things off by certain dates to meet legal deadlines and things like that. So you assume that it's postmarked in, the day that it's dropped off.
While that has long been the assumption, the update to the domestic mail manual means you may not want to cut your drop-off too close to a deadline.
There's not a ton that I have to have postmarked, but I know, when you're applying to things, like applying to colleges and things like that, you have to have it postmarked for certain days and scholarships, things like that. So yeah, I probably will have to change things, yeah.
And according to the National Society of Tax Professionals, the change could potentially have an impact on tax filings too. And while Davis is waiting for clarification about voter registration from the Secretary of State's office and USPS, he says, if you do need to register, do it early.
But I would advise folks do it as early as possible. If they are not registered, do not wait until that deadline. There's a big county primary coming up with a lot of important offices on the ballot, so get registered early and check your registration.
And it must be postmarked at least 30 days before an election. In Knoxville, Naomi Hilmer, 6 on your side.
Now, if you want your postmark to align with the date the mail was dropped off, you can request a manual postmark or hand stamp date at the local post office, and that's free of charge.
Yeah, you can also buy a certified mail or registered mail service at the post office to get a receipt that includes any tracking information.